It's wonderful, very, very wonderful to be here today. I always consider it a great honor and a great privilege to be able to stand here and share what I tap into and what comes through me for a group at a particular point in time. Often I have the group do a moment of silence and bring your highest vibrations into the space, what your soul would share. Because it's not about me, it's about all of us. It's about the great unifying field and how we can be lifted, how we can be more fully unified and connected, and perhaps even how we can be healed, maybe transformed. And I like that word, transfiguration. Sometimes in spiritual literature you talk, or something is shared about transfigured. Well, what would it be like to be transfigured? So bring your vibrations into this. Take a moment, your highest, your best. What you need, what you seek, what you aspire to for all of us. And as Laura was singing, it's all being woven together. It's being woven together. Thank you. I wouldn't want to do it without you. When I came back into this space about 4 weeks ago, I'd been away for a while. And sometimes you get this feeling like you see a friend that you knew when you were 9 years old and you meet them when you're 16 years old, or somebody you knew when you were 15 and you meet them when you're 20. And sometimes it just hits you that growth has taken place. Something that says this person has advanced, this person is more refined than when I knew them 2 years ago, or 3 or 5. It's like they had a growth spurt. And when I walked into the space, and as I've contemplated your vibrations over the last few weeks and this morning, I believe that's a truth that is registering in my intuitive consciousness, that many of you have advanced, you've grown, you've evolved. That, life is messy. We're evolving. Everything on this planet is evolving. This whole planet, you can track it back to one-celled organisms. And we still have some of the same DNA within us that was here 3 billion years ago, in things that are much less developed than we are now. In God time, in the life of the soul, every human lifetime is one day. One day. It's a short-term project. And when we look at ourselves, we need to look at ourselves with a sense of proportion. A sense of proportion and with compassion. When I look at you, when you look at me, we are so limited in so many ways. We've been placed here, and each of us have a certain set of qualities that come to us from something higher. And those are here to expand and to unfold, to become more polished and refined. If you thought of your soul as a great tapestry, all of these shimmering threads of light from lifetime after lifetime, and that you're here, and in this one day in the life of your soul, there are certain parts of that tapestry that you get to weave, that you get to insert some threads, or that the threads within you are being refined, lifted to a higher level. And it's in the turmoil of life, it's in the pressures and the challenges that stretch us and bend us, and that are sometimes painful and uncomfortable. It's in the apparent conflicts, the apparent dualities. As we wrestle, as we strive, we become polished, we become refined. Every living thing on this planet, a dog, a cat, a slug, a one-celled organism, has that light that Dave Bell was talking about in it. And all of it is evolving, and it's all evolving together. And it's a long-term project. And every beautiful, wonderful, spacious tapestry of every soul, of which each of us is a part, is a tiny part of that much bigger tapestry. That much, much bigger tapestry. And it evolves, in the Hindu perspective, over vast cycles of eons, stretching forth, retracting, resting, assimilating, stretching forth again, the great days and nights of the vast cosmos, universes upon universes. And here we are in one little part of that we call our universe. And we're in one little part of that we call our galaxy. And we're in that one little part of that we call our solar system. And we extend from a light that extends from a higher light, that extends from a higher light. Most of us are just here trying to survive, live, express the few of the things that are in us, trying to be loving to others, trying to live in this tumultuous world where we all have different viewpoints, different opinions, and trying to love, trying to show compassion, realizing that people can look at things 180 degrees different than you or I might look at them. And yet they're part of that light. And they're all growing and they're all evolving together. I want to share with you some brighter horizons based on this big picture perspective. I think these are things that you might be able to put to work in your life. And I simply offer these ideas for contemplation, for you to consider if there's anything worthwhile. It's a big spiritual terrain, and there's so many philosophies and points of view between the different groups, and the Urantias and the Course in Miracles and the Buddhists and the Christians and the fundamentalists and so forth. I'm not saying that what I offer you is right. I'm offering it for contemplation. If I'm here evolving, if humanity's evolving, and if we were to look in a mirror and we were to look at humanity, would we say it is highly evolved or that it's somewhere on the path? Would we have compassion for this work in progress, under construction, messy? Yes, there is one light. We're all part of it. We can tap into it. In moments where we're together, we turn our consciousness toward it, and it lifts us. But much of our day, we don't have our consciousness turned toward it. We are under construction. Our souls are under construction. And I hope I don't disturb anyone, but I suspect that all of this is energy fields, that there's a vast energy field, and by its very nature, subfields can emanate within it at various vibrational levels. We talk about our energy field. We talk about that vast energy field. I suspect there's some fields in between that are under development, higher stations of consciousness, aspects of the soul that we might be not fully tuned into. The Hindus, the Buddhists, others have talked about subtle bodies and chakras and this thing called the central channel. What might that be? Perhaps we could call it a life current, that every living being has a life current connected to that source. And we're all at different stages of evolution, and we're all evolving somewhat differently because we have different gifts and we have different experiences. Some human beings out of the 8 billion, 1 billion, 2 billion, 3 billion, you might call them first graders. And maybe there's a couple billion that are second graders. And maybe there's a couple 100,000 that are third graders. And maybe there might be a couple that are fifth or sixth graders. And we call them great avatars and saviors and messiahs. But they're just on the path. And believe me, there's several more cosmic eons to go. Love each other. Take the compassionate view for yourself and others. And the bright horizons, I'm going to suggest some bright horizons that have worked for me. I'm pretty intuitive. I've got some intuitive capabilities. But I have not really focused on building them as much as I could. And my good friend Christo Bowers, who's here in the room with us with his fiancée, Perina, gave me some pointers and suggestions for exercises I could do. What I like to do in my life is I like to say, what will give me an orders of magnitude increase in some capacity of myself. Orders of magnitude is not 2 times or 3 times. It's 10 times or 100 times or 1,000 times. That's orders of magnitude. I've just learned to think that way over the years and to challenge myself. And I started gradually, but over the last 3 months, I really picked up those exercises. And it's not so that I will have psychic powers. It's so that I can participate in the fullness of my divinity to sense and receive information at many levels, so that I can fit in a more balanced way, so I can see you, so I can meet you, so that I can maybe touch you in some way that will be helpful. And I've seen a very significant increase in my intuitive capacities in the last 3 months by practicing an hour and a half a day, opposed to practicing not at all. This is a horizon that is within the grasp of all of us in this room. A few years ago, 5 years ago, I always wanted to lead chants. I wanted to play a harmonium. And I had no musical capability. Most people would probably tell me to please not sing. And I only remembered like a C chord from when I practiced guitar when I was 12 years old. And I decided I was going to buy a harmonium and I was going to practice. And 3 months after purchasing it, I gave my first concert. And believe me, I was scared because as the weeks went by and the days went by and I only had 3 months, it was slow progress. And my voice didn't do what I wanted it to, and my fingers didn't do what I wanted them to. But I really picked up the pace in my practicing and I pulled it off. And by last night, when I gave a kirtan chanting here, I found that once you practice something for 1,000 hours or 2,000 hours, it makes a world of difference. Do you have 1,000 hours or 2,000 hours to choose a goal for something within you that wants to come out and bring it forth in a year or 2 or 3 or 4? That's a bright horizon. It's something doable. It's within your reach. There's something called, as I was listening to one of Christo's Zoom sessions one day, he was talking about Buddha consciousness, the compassionate heart, and how when the heart chakra expands and opens to a certain point, it's like you can really step into another person and really get the gist of them. I mean, you step into them. Your energy field receives their energy and it's imprinted on you so that you understand, you comprehend. What if you made that your brighter horizon? What if you said, I want a Buddha heart of compassion? This is what I really want. Divine Spirit, help me achieve this. I'm going to focus on this. I want to really see as you see. I want to know as you know. I don't want to judge others. I want to truly see them. You know, namaste, I see you, I behold you. I want to see you so that I can walk in harmony with you, so I can love you better, so we can connect. There's at least one more, actually there's several, but I'm not going to go into all of them, but I will mention one more. The life current and the magnetic fields that emanate from it. You know, we have magnetic fields at a physical level. In our brain, different parts of our brain, there's magnetic fields. In the heart, there's magnetic field. These play a major part in our biology. There's magnetic fields at the etheric level, the emotional level, the mental level, higher levels of mind. There's not just one level of mind. There's many levels of mind. And these are magnetic fields. Our chakras are a form of magnetic field. All that we call spirit, all that we say is beyond the physical, it's magnetic fields. I would probably call what we call God or Source a magnetic field, the mother lode. And we're not separate from it. We're interpenetrated by it. It's our source. We exist in a unity of relation with it, even when we feel out of relationship with it. But what I want you to know is evolution. All of this is evolving. Your energy fields are evolving. From lifetime to lifetime, they become more defined. They become richer. They become more enhanced. And if you look at the life current of something like a possum, it looks relatively thin, and the fields are relatively indistinct. When you look at a human being, it's much richer. And the life current, if you imagine a very slender thread, and then you imagine a very thin sapling coming out of the ground, or a thicker sapling, or something that looks like a mighty redwood tree, the central column shifts, grows, expands, and becomes a conduit by which the divine can move through us as we clear out our stuff, as we let go of small ideas. It comes in. It says, you know, my prayer for the last few years, particularly this year, make me the exquisite space in which you dwell. Make me the exquisite space. I want to be a clear conduit for you. I want your healing energy to flow through. I want you to be a river of light. I want you to be a light that warms, that lifts, that transfigures humanity. If I meet someone, I don't want them to know anything about David Winfree. I don't want them to meet him. I want them to meet you. I want them to meet you. I want you to touch them. I want you to gift them with yourself. I want your love to encompass them and lift them and bless them. These are brighter horizons. We can all grow. We can evolve. We can see our part more clearly, the part of the tapestry that we're here to build. And we are here to build together, and to be built by God. To be built. To have our energy fields enhanced and transfigured so that we can be brighter, clearer, fuller conduits for that light. So I will end with just a brief coming together again of our minds, our prayers, our aspirations. Highest light, illuminate us. Highest light, O supreme light, O you who are our source, we live and dwell in you, and you are in us, and we are not separate. Do your work, grow us. May all things evolve as we evolve together. May we be lifted, may we love, may we be loved. May we be transfigured. Transfigure me, lift me, show me your path. Show me the actions I can take in this world. Show me how to spend my time, how to focus my mind. Make me a conduit of your love. Open me, expand me. Make me a column of your light. Make me a lighthouse. Supreme light, do this work in me. Do this work in us. Lift our sights, lift our vision, and grace us with your presence. Enhance us. Intensify our consciousness of you. Be with us through the morning, through the afternoon, through the night. May you be with us as we dream. May you guard our sleeping and our dreaming. May you guard our thoughts throughout the day. Lift me higher. Lift me higher. Lift all beings. O light, may we all be lifted together. Thank you.